Welcome to Maritime Pakistan, your gateway to the fascinating world of oceans and all the opportunities they present to every one of us. Now, we've explored naval warfare before through the book Fleet Tactics and Coastal Combat. Today, though, we're introducing the third edition of a related foundational text, Fleet Tactics and Naval Operations. We're going to look at why this classic had to be completely rewritten for the modern age.
Okay, so let's dive into this classic text on naval strategy and really look at why a third edition was so urgently needed. You know, for decades, this book, in all its different versions, has been an absolute cornerstone of naval tactical thinking, really shaping the minds of officers and strategists.
And hey, that's not just my opinion. Look at this quote from Admiral John Richardson, a former chief of naval operations for the U.S. Navy. When a book is this essential, so physically worn out from use by the folks at the very top, well, you know it's way more than just a textbook. It's a real practical guide to war at sea. So, the crucial point here is this. When a book this influential gets a huge update, it's because the world it's describing has fundamentally changed. The very nature of naval conflict has shifted, and that requires a complete rewrite of the rulebook. Let's take a quick look at how each edition of this book was a direct response to its time. I mean, its evolution really tells the story of modern naval history all by itself. The story of this book really unfolds over three different eras. The first edition back in '86, that came out during the Cold War, focusing on a massive, peer-level competitor, the Soviet Union. By 2000, that world was totally gone, so the second edition adapted to a time with no major naval rival, shifting its focus to projecting power from the sea onto the land. But by 2018, well, the game had completely changed again, with big naval competition returning in a brand new, super high-tech environment.
Right, so the 2000 edition, as you see here, was really dealing with a world where the main challenge wasn't another big navy, but how to influence what was happening on the ground from the sea. The focus totally shifted to what's called littoral combat and projecting power ashore.
But the world changed again. And this time, the change was faster and more profound than anything that had ever come before it. This wasn't just an evolution, you guys. It was a full-blown revolution.
By 2018, it was crystal clear that the information age wasn't just on the horizon, it was here, and it had completely rewritten the rules of conflict. This quote gets right to the heart of why a third edition wasn't just a nice idea, it was absolutely essential for survival in this new reality.
Now, what's really fascinating about this slide is how it shows the sheer speed of this change. Think about it. In the past, technologies took decades to become widespread, 30 years for the telephone. Today, a revolutionary device like the smartphone, which is infinitely more complex, is basically everywhere in just a few years. That incredible acceleration is what's driving this new era. And this exponential pace has created a whole new set of challenges for military forces. Technology is getting better, faster all the time. People are adopting it instantly. And the traditional military systems, the ones built for a slower world, they just can't keep up. For the first time, the military often finds itself following technology, not leading the charge like it used to.
This tech revolution didn't just speed things up, it created entirely new battlefields. The whole map of conflict has been fundamentally redrawn.
Traditionally, naval warfare operated in the physical domains you see right here, on the sea, in the air, and over the land. It was a tangible, physical battlefield you could see and touch. But the information age added two new, non-physical domains that are now absolutely central to any conflict: space and cyberspace. Their entire purpose is to create and move information, making them the new battlegrounds of data. And this brings us to the central, most important idea of the third edition. With new battlefields that are all about information, the very goal of combat has shifted. It's no longer about who has the biggest ships, but who can think and act the fastest. In the past, the goal was pretty simple: have more and better information than your opponent. This was called information superiority. If you could see the enemy and they couldn't see you, well, you were almost always going to win.
But now, everybody is flooded with data from satellites, drones, sensors, you name it. The new challenge, the new goal, is something called decision superiority. It's not about who has the most information, but who can process that avalanche of data to make better, faster decisions and then act on them before the enemy can even figure out what's happening.
This shift is so critical because high-stakes, fleet-on-fleet competition has returned. After decades of being pretty much the only major player, navies now face significant blue water rivals. The fight for control of the sea is on again, and the winner is going to be the one who masters this new way of thinking.
So here's the crucial point. In this new era, the opening moves of a conflict might not involve a missile or a torpedo at all. The classic naval idea of firing effectively first could now mean launching a crippling cyber attack or a jamming campaign to blind your enemy's network. It's about achieving that decision superiority before a single physical shot is even fired.
And this leaves us with a final, really provocative question for this new age of warfare. When battlefields are virtual and the first attacks are literally invisible, what does it truly mean to fire the first shot? That is the central question this new edition of Fleet Tactics forces every one of us to confront. We hope that you liked today's discussion. Be sure to post your questions in the comments section for any future explainers.